Okay, so we're all hearing it, right? AI and automation are supposed to be changing everything in business. But what does that actually mean? Like, for real? Well, today we're going to dive into a new kind of platform that's making some pretty wild promises. Let's dig in.
And it kicks off with this whopper of a claim. Get this, double your sales team's productivity with no extra headcount required. I mean, come on, double the output without hiring anyone? That sounds kind of impossible, right? So the big question is how? Let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on here.
So how is this even possible? Well, the whole thing hinges on two key pieces of tech: no-code platforms and something called autonomous AI agents. Yeah, I know they sound like total buzzwords, but trust me, they're not just jargon. They're actually a huge shift in how we think about software. So let's break down what they actually are.
All right, but before we jump into the shiny new stuff, we got to talk about the problem it's built to fix. You know, for so many companies, the biggest thing holding them back is their own tech. It's like trying to win a race while carrying a backpack full of rocks. We're talking about the legacy tech burden.
And this really paints the picture, doesn't it? On the one hand, you've got the old way, a total headache. Your data's all over the place, someone's always making a typo, entering something manually, and everything just takes forever. But then, on the other hand, you see the promise of these new platforms. Everything's automated, things move way faster, and all your data is finally in one place where you can actually use it. It's night and day.
So how do you get from that messy before to the clean after? Well, the first step, the absolute foundation for all of this, is something called no-code.
And no-code? It's pretty much what it says on the tin. It's a way to build apps without needing to be a coding genius. Seriously. Instead of writing lines and lines of complicated code, you're using visual tools. Think drag and drop, like building with blocks, or even just typing out what you want in plain English. It's a total game changer.
And look at who this is for. This isn't just for the super technical IT folks anymore. No-code puts the power right into the hands of the business users. You know, the people in sales, marketing, operations, the ones who actually know what they need, so they can build their own tools fast, and that takes a huge load off the tech department.
Okay, so that's the foundation. No code lets anyone build the house. But what happens when you give that house a brain? Where does the AI fit into all this?
And this is where things get really, really cool. We're talking about the next level. We're not just building apps anymore. We're creating autonomous AI agents that can run on their own inside those apps. This is that second piece of the puzzle, and it's a big one.
The important idea here is AI native, and that's a huge distinction. This isn't about just bolting on some AI feature after the fact. No, this means the AI is baked in from the very beginning. It's in the platform's DNA, powering everything from the ground up. It's fundamental.
So what do these AI agents actually do? Well, it's basically a three-step dance. First, you train them on how your business and your industry works. Then, they take that knowledge and start automating the really complicated stuff, the things with a bunch of steps. And finally, they're off to the races, doing real work, like figuring out which sales leads are worth chasing or getting all the research ready for a big meeting. They're like a super smart assistant.
Okay, so that's the theory. Sounds pretty good, right? But what does it look like in action? Let's get specific and check out some real-world examples.
This gives you a perfect idea. Think about retail. An AI agent could figure out exactly what products need to be in which stores and when. That's huge. Or in manufacturing, it could be tracking your entire supply chain automatically. For a company making consumer goods, it could manage a whole marketing promotion from start to finish. And we're not talking about simple little tasks here. These are major core parts of running a business.
So, having a powerful tool is great, but is it the real deal? Does anyone actually use it? And what do the experts think? Let's talk about the proof in the pudding, the partners, and the industry props.
One of the smartest things they're doing is making sure you're not going it alone. There's a whole network of partners, experts really, who help companies switch over from their old, clunky systems and get everything set up right. So you've got support.
All right, let's talk numbers. As far as validation goes, how about this? The platform has been recognized in 29 different reports from Gartner. You know, Gartner, one of the biggest names in tech analysis. 29. That's not a typo.
And wait, there's more. On top of that, it's also shown up in 17 reports from Forrester, another one of the heavy hitters. When you see numbers like that again and again, you know something's going on. That's serious credibility. But out of all those mentions, a few are just wow. Check this out.
Being named the only leader in a Forrester Wave report, that's almost unheard of. Not a leader, the only one. Plus, being a leader in Gartner's Magic Quadrant 5 years in a row, that kind of track record is just incredible. It really makes you pay attention.
And that brings us right back to where we started. Remember that crazy claim about doubling a team's impact? Well, after seeing how no-code lays the groundwork and how these AI agents can handle really heavy lifting, suddenly it doesn't sound so crazy anymore, does it? It actually seems possible. So the real question to leave you with isn't just could this work? It's what would it mean for my business if it did?